I want this to work. People are waiting, but I had to restart a new one. Wait, can I share this? Oh, there's a filter. Share. Copy link. Everyone moving to this one. Ow. Good morning, everybody. Where do I see the chats? Can I see them in here? Everything's so hard. Why am I so challenged? Okay. How do I get rid of this? Okay. Oh, they're there. Hi, Happy New Year. Is this angle okay? Struggling. Story of my life. This is not my favorite angle. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. I was just kind of wanted to, it's been a minute, so I thought it's time to say Happy New Year to everybody. Let me get this propped a little bit better. There we go. I think that's better. Come here. Everyone. Hola. I've been busy because I've been fostering this puppy. Who's crazy in the morning. His demon hours are 6 a.m. Oh my god. Okay. Focus. So anyways. Hi, Carlo. Hi. Yeah, so I've been fostering a puppy for the past 2 months on top of my already hectic schedule. He's really trying to like give me kisses and I don't want them. So yeah, I've been busy being a single foster mom. It's very difficult. He's pretty cute. Everyone on the street is always like, he's so cute. And then their second question is, what is that? It's a boy. It's a he. His name is Gangnam. I did not name him. I thought, because sometimes the shelters give like funny names, like they'll just pick a TV show or something and then name all the incoming dogs those names, or like after famous singers and stuff. So I thought it was kind of one of those names, because Gangnam is not a name that Korean people would name their dog, actually. Ugh. Okay, you need to focus. And then I learned that he has an adoptive family, so he's actually flying out to Singapore next month. So I only have him till the end of this month. And he has an adoptive family in Singapore, and they apparently named him Gangnam as his official forever name. Wow. But he's a bundle of squishiness and craziness. He just wants, it's early, so it's his playtime. So he doesn't know how to sit still. My double chin is really showing at this angle. Yeah, so that's what I've been busy with. That's why I haven't really been able to like upload as consistently. Although I did upload the last 2 weeks. So there we go. I did that. But it's hard to also film stuff because he's just in the midst of it all. And he's just creating havoc. But yeah, I'll be sad when he goes. I don't know if any of you have fostered a dog, but a puppy is not easy, or raised a puppy. Wow. And I think, I don't know what breed he is, but we're thinking he's definitely got some corgi because he's got a corgi butt and like long body, and then maybe a little Jindo or shepherd of some sort. But yeah, he's only 6 months. Well, I guess he's 7 months now. When I got him, he was 6 months. So he's pretty big for, let me see. He's this big. He's this big. When he first came, he was about 7 kilos. And now I think he's closer to 9. So he's gained a good 2 kilos. I don't know how much bigger he'll get necessarily. He'll get a little fatter, I'm sure. He's a little round. And he loves to eat. Okay, you can go away now. Go away. So I've been doing that. Which has been a lot. As you can see, he still wants to be involved. What have you guys been up to? What have you been doing this New Year's? Well, I guess it's not, they don't really give you the time off on this day. So I thought maybe if I streamed it on Monday, then it would be Sunday where you guys are. But it was kind of last minute, so I don't know who's going to join or who's able to join. Maybe people have lives. But I'm a foster mom now, so I don't have a life of my own anymore. And then I couldn't figure out how to do the other stream. I don't know how to activate a stream that I scheduled. Does anyone know how to do that? Because I think that's like, if you guys know, like all my streams, I always have to everyone's like waiting in the first stream, but then I can't get it open. So I just upload a brand new stream, but then the old one, I don't know how to activate it. So it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's so strange. And then I couldn't go live from the stream. It just lets me open it, but I can't actually go live on it, even though I am the owner of the stream. So I don't know how to do that. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Everything's so confusing. I don't know who's in here. I can't see anything. Okay. I don't know if this is working. I don't know who's in here. I can't see. Anyways, what else? What else is going on? So I'm planning on filming a couple videos today. I don't really know on what yet, but they're happening. So I have them ready, and I'm going, right now is Lunar New Year, so Korea has basically shut down this past weekend. It's like the biggest holiday of the year. And I was taking the dog out for the walk yesterday, and everything was closed. So it's kind of eerie. People were still out, and I think there were a couple coffee shops where we were walking, but nothing crazy like that. So it's always weird to see Korea kind of at a standstill. But I think today most things are opening again. At least I know that I can get my my market curling coupon orders in. Oh no, the dog toy has come out in full force. So yeah, Korea is pretty much looking like that right now. And luckily they said after the 30th, after January 30th, we don't have to wear indoor masks anymore, except on transportation and at the hospitals and stuff. Lunar New Year and China. Yo, dude, can we chew on something else that makes less noise? Can we chew on something else that makes less noise? Or we'll chew over there. Lunar New Year and Chinese New Year are technically the same holiday, but yo, I'm gonna confiscate. Let's go play with something else. Play with your carrot. Play with your carrot. They're technically the same holiday, Lunar New Year and Chinese New Year, but politically, if we want to be politically correct, it's Lunar New Year. I heard that do you guys know New Jeans? The K-pop group, they're all like really young. They're like under 16. But I guess one of the girls, especially in Korea, she called it Chinese New Year, and then she had to issue an apology for calling it Chinese New Year because it's, in Korea it's Lunar New Year because obviously not Chinese New Year. But she grew up in Australia, and that's usually what it's referenced as in Western cultures a lot, as Chinese New Year versus Lunar New Year. So, yeah, political debate there. So to be safe, I keep referring to it as Lunar New Year. Although obviously I grew up with it as Chinese New Year, and my family obviously celebrates it. My mom is actually in Taiwan right now, celebrating the holidays. But ticket prices are crazy in Korea right now, you guys. It's like if I wanted to book a ticket to Taiwan to see my family during the lunar holidays, it's always really expensive. But because we've just started kind of opening more routes to other countries from Korea, it's still pretty crazily priced. So Taiwan, for example, it's under 3 hours. It's a 2-hour and 50-minute flight. And I used to buy tickets for like $100, $200. And then I think I just booked a ticket. If I wanted to book a ticket for the lunar holidays, it was close to $1,000. Insane. For like a 3-hour flight. And then I booked a ticket because I am going in February. Spoiler alert. I'm going in February for right after the holidays. And I booked it for it was 600,000 Korean won. So it was about $500 US if you convert it, which is insane if you still think about it. It's 3 hours. I mean, I can book a $600 flight from New York to LA. That's a 6-hour flight in America, which is usually really expensive to fly domestic. So insane. I know, I agree. Crazy. Oh, he found another squeaky toy. I gave him too many squeaky toys. My foster dog. What else? What else has been going on? Let me think. Oh. 야, 시끄러. 안 돼. Sorry, guys. The foster dog he usually likes less quiet toys, but today he has chosen his squeaky toys. Yeah. 하지 마. Don't do it. Thank you. Hi, Peace Life. Hi. My face is still really puffy. What? 하지 마. My face is super puffy from waking up this morning. Yo. No, go bring some other ones. You go. Sakura, hi. Peace Life, hi. Oh, you guys didn't see my foster dog. Wait, guys. My foster puppy is here. My daily routine these days, Carla, thanks for asking. Well, I wake up at 6 a.m. to walk the dog for his morning walk. And I started doing it that early because there were less cars out that early, and he didn't know how to walk because he's from the shelter. So my road is kind of dangerous when there's a lot of cars, so I was worried. So I started walking him that early, and then he kind of got used to it. So then I was like, well, I guess I have to walk him that early now. And then we get back, I make a cup of coffee, and I feed him his breakfast. And then if I have to go somewhere, I usually go around in the morning after breakfast. and then go to work. So if I have to work, for example, I do like freelance work at a skincare office for their content creation. I have to be at their office at 8 a.m., which is crazy early. Ow. And then I'm usually just working all day, to be honest. Ow. Where's your mom? He wants to play. And yeah, I'm always working. My day is always, I'm just like everyone else. I just basically have to work all day on multiple things, and I'm always I'm doing like, because now I'm on this like entertainment visa, so I do like castings, and I send my audition tapes out and stuff like that. I have to film audition tapes. I have to make content for third parties a lot of times. And yeah, I keep busy constantly. I'm doing you guys can join me for my first, I'm working with this company called Grip, GRIP, and they do essentially live show hostings through an app, and it's a lot of like Korean based brands, so Korean beauty products, Korean fashion lines, and I'm doing a live with them this Thursday with a brand called A Bloom. So I've been rehearsing for that. I've been like reviewing all the stuff for that and trying out their products. So I'm doing the live through their app on Thursday. So you guys can check that out if you want. But yeah, so I'm working with them, and I'm also gonna start working with another live commerce hosting app. But I'll tell you, that's not like confirmed yet, because nothing's in writing for sure. So I'm gonna wait to tell you guys more about that. So I'm gonna be doing more of those coming up, which is crazy. But also very exciting. I'm super excited to be able to do that kind of stuff. What breed is my dog? So we are not sure. He's mixed, but I think he's got some corgi, maybe a little shepherd. He's got kind of like a German shepherd type face, or like maybe like a Jindo type face. So we're thinking along those lines. But he's going to Singapore at the end of this month. So I only have him for another week now, actually. It's our last week together, buddy. And then he's going to go to his forever family in Singapore, which means honestly he's going to be way better off, because Singapore, if they're going to, because to adopt a dog from Korea is actually quite expensive, and if it's a family in Singapore, they're probably going to give him a really nice life. So he's really lucky to be adopted this young, because he's only 6-7 months right now. So he's going to be living the good life after this. Not that he's living a really good life right now. My house is just covered in his toys and snacks. So, and he gets a walk. And if I'm out of the house, because I'm out of the house actually most of the day, because I'm working and doing stuff. So I've actually had to hire a pet sitter to come here and play. Like, I literally hired a pet sitter when it was really, really cold, because Korea was going through like a cold freeze. Is that what, cold front? I had to literally hire a pet sitter to come and essentially play with him for an hour. And I was thinking, I should be getting paid. Like, someone should be paying me to come play with my dog. Because it's just like, come play with a puppy for an hour and just hang out with him. And yeah, I was paying someone to do that. So what a dream job. Good for mental health. And now that the weather was kind of nicer, I had them take him out for a walk as well. But actually on Wednesday, it's going to be -17 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. -17 Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's going to be 1 degree, 1.4 degree Fahrenheit on tomorrow and Wednesday. So that will be fun. When I foster, do I have Peace Life says, oh wow, sorry to ask. So when you foster, you have to spend on food and stuff. Yeah, so it depends on the fosters, but most foster care systems, they for dogs, they only provide the kennel, because that's what they'll be like transported with, and then they provide a collar in case, like, you know, the dog gets lost. There's like the tag on the collar, and then the rest I provide myself. So actually, I'm essentially paying to foster a puppy, but it was so cold in Korea, and I kept seeing all the shelters posting about how they have all these puppies and all these dogs that are freezing in this weather, because a lot of the kennels are actually outside for a lot of these places because they just don't have the facility to keep like indoor kennels for all the dogs. So I felt really bad, and I was like, I don't want them to like live harshly outdoors, and I technically do have the home and the means to care for one in like a short term. So I offered to foster, but it does cost a lot of money actually, because you have to buy all the food, and you have to buy all the supplies, and you have to buy him all his toys. You don't have to buy him toys, but you kind of want to. Excuse me, can you pick a quieter toy, sir? And then all the cleaning supplies, and he's been on puppy pads because he's like young. So probably I've spent a lot. Heating prices have gone crazy. Have you seen it yet? Yes. Heating prices have gone up in Korea, much like anywhere else in the world. I know London's having a crisis right now, all of England. But yeah, heating prices. My bill, because I have to keep my house semi-warm because of the dog. I don't want him to, you know, freeze, because he's still young, so he did catch a cold when he first arrived as well. And I don't want him getting sick, so I've kept my house fairly warm and heated. And I think my bill last month was like, usually my gas bill is $5, $7. But in the winter it skyrockets, so it's like 140, 150 or something last month. I don't know what it will be this month. Don't think about it. As long as I keep working, I guess. The reason I keep working is to supply this dog with heat and food at the moment. Sakura says that sounds insanely cold. Yes, it will be insanely cold, and it's worse when there's like wind factor as well, because obviously it's colder when it's windy. David, I'm sorry if is that how you pronounce David? David Tognacini. When you decided to quit teaching, was it quite difficult to find freelance jobs? I was thinking of getting an E2 visa if I can. Is it difficult to start? So yes, it was very difficult. I don't know how I'm even still. I was really, really lucky. I was just talking about this with my friend actually, because he came over for dinner, and he's like, he's in on an E2 as well right now. He's been thinking like, what if I just switch over to a D10, which is a looking for work visa. So it's a transitional visa. And I remember I said, you know, just like all the precautions before you switch visas, and making sure that you have enough savings in your bank account to sustain you for a long time, because you don't know actually when you're going to be getting jobs and be getting paid to work. And you're switching to an E6. Okay. So, and then he said, remember when you were switching your visa and you were having, like anxiety attacks because you weren't sure if you were doing the right thing or if you were making the right decision. And when I was switching from my E2 to my E6, I had connections, but nothing was really finite, because I couldn't finalize any conversations or any contracts until I had my E6 visa. So nothing was confirmed about like what I would be doing or how I would be working. And so I made a whole video about it, but I had like severe anxiety, and I was getting panic attacks, and my health was like really not good. And during the transition phase, because I was so nervous that I wouldn't be able to make a living, like make a sustainable living, right? I still have to pay rent. You have to pay your health insurance when you're on an E6 visa. You have to pay it yourself. And those are all non-negotiable. You have to pay utilities, my gas, as we've been talking about. food. And even if I wanted to do the YouTube full time, I wouldn't be able to like actually do anything if I didn't have extra income, because how can I go to a cafe or how can I go to a restaurant and show anything if I don't have money to buy a coffee? So that was really difficult. And from everything, I think I was really lucky in that I had been living in Korea for quite some time. So I was able to make certain connections before I made the transition. And that really helped, because I think people like kind of took pity on me as well, because they saw me, whenever they saw me, I was like, man, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm having a hard time. So I think they took pity on me, and that's how I started getting work, to be honest. In terms of like casting work, I'm not the best when it comes to speaking about acting and stuff like that, because I am Asian, so I don't really get cast for that kind of stuff too much nowadays. I do get cast on occasion, but I think my friends who are more appropriately foreign looking, black, white, like Arab, Hispanic, they do get cast more than I do. And if you can get cast for like sub roles versus extras, I think extra work is honestly the worst thing to get cast for, obviously, because you make the least amount of money, and then also it's like long hours, and you're not even seen in the commercial, so those are really annoying. But if you get cast for like sub modeling or being the main model, then you do make quite a bit of money. But those, you don't get those roles all the time. So I think maybe if you're still on a E2 visa, the first things you can do are get some profile shots taken while you still have money. Get some portfolio things and then send it out and then get a feel. So I think the hardest part about getting an E6 is also vetting agencies. My friend was telling me about her old agency, which is crazy. She had to pay for getting the contract with the agency. So she paid upfront like 2 to 3 million won, which is actually not unheard of. It's actually quite normal for people to like pay an upfront fee for an A6 visa. But then she was telling me that she essentially paid them every month while she was on the visa. Never heard. I was like, that's insane. So because they also get a cut of everything you make. So she was essentially paying them on top of them taking a cut of all the money that she was making. And she was doing mostly content creating. So luckily she has a pretty big channel. So she was able to have like passive income and income generating. Excuse me. Can we pick another toy? But yeah, I don't know how that is sustainable. So that's also something to look out for. I think there's a lot more concerns. And I like the freedom of the E6 visa. I definitely love being able to, work on different things and having a multitude of options versus just, like doing something I didn't necessarily want to be doing, which was teaching. So that's like been the bonus, but I would have never been able to sustain on her deal with her agency. So I think, I think it's like if you want to do E6 and you want to go to castings and you want to model or you want to be an actor, that's totally cool. But I think you also need to probably have something else that you can actually make money off of that will generate like consistent income, whether that is through content or whether that is through freelancing on something that, I can't promote anything but, Fiverr or something. I know a lot of people do that also. The DT says the neighbor cafe for our apartment complex is wild. Everyone is going mental. About the gas prices? Probably. Also, people love complaining about everything, so I totally get it. Especially when prices go up, because what is it? Isn't it like the price of eggs and onions and stuff is going up everywhere as well? Sakura is asking, are you able to reuse certain items for the different dogs? Yeah, so I mean, if I bought the items, I think my last foster, I did foster a dog before. Gangnam? Yeah. My last foster dog, I did reuse some of his brush and his certain supplies. So I did do that for him. But I also after I foster a dog, I don't know when the next time I'm able to foster, and I don't really like to keep stuff in my house. So I end up donating it all to the shelter. But you can, if you can like keep it and then reuse it. Those are yours. So Peace Life says, oh wow, does the repairman come out quick when something happens? It was in Europe around 18 degrees. Yeah, probably. You have to call them I've had to call the repair guys myself, or had my friend call them, because I was like, I don't know any repair people. But they do come fairly quick. But I've actually been I haven't really needed one recently, so that's been really good. But they would have to come when they are free. But I guess if one can't come, you can just call another one. They're everywhere, so not too difficult. David, thank you so much for replying. These are my same worries. Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest worry is finances. So Carla says, are you making good money now with your current gig? Yeah, I think I'm making pretty good income. I do a lot of work. I counted the other day and I was like, I think I'm doing at least 10 different things at one time on a consistent basis. So my schedule is literally all over the place. I'm constantly running around like a chicken without my head. And yeah, I technically, I guess I'm making, yeah. Pick a different toy, sir. It's so loud. Sorry, my dog. I'm technically making probably more money now than I was when I was teaching. So that's been really good. But I'm also spending more. I'm also having more expenses, because when you're teaching on an E2 visa, they pay for like your housing, and they pay for half your insurance or all your insurance. And I'm paying for that completely out of pocket right now. So I guess my expenses went up as well. So I don't necessarily know if I'm saving more. I'm trying. I'm trying to save more. But it's also this, because I'm also now not paying into my pension on an E6, because before on an E2, you're technically paying into your pension that you can take, the Americans and a couple other countries, we can take with us when we leave. But so I'm not paying into that. So that is also quite concerning. But we're gonna take it day by day. LJ says, I wanted to say Happy New Year and thank you for your channel. It's been great to see you over these years. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. I met someone the other day who, it's so weird when I meet people in person and they tell me they've been watching the channel for a while, and it helped them, come over to Korea or like learn things about Korea. And it's always I'm super awkward, so I'm always like, ah. Thank you. But it means a lot to me when I hear that kind of stuff, because again, I haven't met as many people as I would like in person, and it's been nice to know that I've been able to, be a nice presence. And even if you, aren't moving to Korea or whatever, I think people just enjoy content. I don't know. DT says, I have an F6 visa, but I have no acting experience, and all the horror stories I heard about the entertainment industry here is a little unsettling. So an F6 is a great visa to have. It basically means you have for those of you who don't know, it means that you're basically the same. You can have any job. You're not constricted to one industry because you're viewed the same as basically a Korean citizen. And the entertainment story is probably real. I'm not gonna lie. The entertainment industry is very crazy here, much like anywhere else in the world, I'm sure. But there's so much there's so much stuff that people don't realize goes on behind the scenes, and the type of people you're dealing with constantly in this industry who are like taking advantage of you. It's just insane. I mean, for example, there's one commercial shoot I did months ago that I should have been already paid for, even after, because you're paid for a commercial shoot 100 days after you film it, or you should be, but you have to still wait first off 100 days, and then I still haven't been paid for it, and it's been due. So, and then I messaged the guy and he hasn't responded, and my agency's like, you need to keep bothering him, and I'm like, okay, but then because I keep bothering him, it's noticeable how he has not sent me any casting offers. So it's crazy. It's crazy. That's why I personally, like, because of my image, again, I'm not a foreigner. I'm very Asian looking foreigner, and I kind of look Korean to a lot of people. So I don't get cast as often in commercials and entertainment things. So it's already difficult for me to get castings. And on top of that, they're not like, I have to bother them to pay me, and then they're annoyed, so they don't want to cast me, and so it's just not it's not, that industry is not really reliable for me to be a part of. And yeah, DT, that sounds so stressful. That is correct. Peace Life, do you know the DK TV channel? I think you would be great if you guys collab. They also had a recent Ramen and Chill season 1 finished before Inferno. Yeah, I not a collab, but they did hire me one time to react to. Yeah. That's my cable, sir. My dog is causing trouble. They did hire me one time ages ago, before the pandemic, I think, to react to one of their videos. I ate this Korean snack called Yangang, which is not my favorite. Spoiler alert. So I did do that. I don't know them very well though, actually, but I did see the previews and stuff for Ramen and Chill. Wow. My friend said I should go on it. I don't know if I could take that kind of show seriously, guys. But maybe, I don't know. Never say never. Peace Life says, I saw one of your collabs to another channel the other day. If I recall correctly, you guys were comparing US to UK. You motivated me every time watching your video. Made me need to do. Okay, he's going crazy. Yeah, that was with World Friends, I think. Was it the UK? I did one with, yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, they're really fun to film with. They're a channel called World Friends. They film in Seoul, and that was really fun. It was really unfortunate actually, because they messaged me a couple months ago to film something, but I was already booked for something else, so I couldn't do it. But I told them hopefully next time, because I've worked with them twice and it's been a really lovely experience. Yo, you need to calm down. I don't know what's going on with you. I bought one of your old videos and bought a heated blanket because of it. Yo, Carlo, the heated blanket it's a must-have item. It's I still have one now on my bed, a heated blanket, because it is an essential, an absolute essential in the winter. I don't think I can move on with my life anymore if I don't have a heated blanket in the winter. Can you like chill? This dog is being a menace. In one of my, Sakura says, by the way, in one of your vlogs, you mentioned an institution that organizes cooking classes in Seoul and other cities like Yeongju. When you have the chance, could you please share the info? Oh, yeah. What was it called? They're located in Anguk. It was like Korean cooking. I will find it. Korean cooking classes. Anguk Station. It's like, yeah, it's an institution, and they host, I think, monthly cooking classes, and they're either free or you just pay, I think like $5 or something for the baseline of the ingredients. have to find it again. I don't really remember what it was called. My agency actually set it up and asked me to go, so that's how I found out about it. Let me do some more searching. I could probably find it with. Okay. Can you are you ready to calm down? Okay. My dog is saying hello. Okay. I will find it though. I will find it. I think it was Hanshik one day tour, and it was actually they rented this really nice bus. I don't know if you guys watched the vlog where I went to go with this cooking class, but we went out of the city to go cook this meal, and they invited like a famous Korean chef to demonstrate how to cook for us, and we used all these we were at a traditional Korean sauce yard. I don't even know what it's called, but they were they ferment all their own, and they sell as a family run business for generations these Korean sauces like gochujang and kangjang and things like that, and doenjang. So we used their ingredients, and then with the famous Korean chef, and we made all these dishes, and there were a lot of students there. It was mostly students and families. So so that was really fun. It was called Hanjik One Day Tour. And Hanjik just means Korean food. So I will find it. It was called Get to Know Korean Jang. Where was this? Okay. Is it Korean Food Promotion Institute? Sorry, this is taking a lot longer. I'm trying to Google this. Food Institute. Okay, it's literally called Korean Food Promotion Institute. Korean Food. And it's located in Seoul. Hanshik Jingwon. I want to type this to you. It's not letting me change my keyboard. Hanshik. Hanshik again means Korean food, like Korean cuisine. Hanshik Jingwon. Okay. So Sakura, there you go. Yeah, so if you do come to Korea, it's actually anyone can just apply. So you guys can also, if you're into Korean cooking but you don't want to pay a lot for a fancy class, the institute does run a couple classes, either one or two classes a month, I think. So yeah, and it's run by the government, so that's why it's so cheap, because they want to spread Korean culture. Bubbles asked if I'm still an English teacher. I am not an English teacher anymore. I stopped doing that once I changed my visa, and on my E6 visa, you're not allowed to teach English, so I don't do that. Although I do know a lot of people who do tutor on the side while on an E6 visa, and you just have to be really careful when doing that kind of stuff. Cash only. Not that I promote that. That's just something that I've heard people do. Peace lives. Oh wait, no. Daveen says, thank you so much for kindness. I hope we can meet in Korea if I ultimately manage to come. Yeah, but good luck. Good luck with all that. It's a very stressful time, I'm sure. Peace Life says, that is horrible that they haven't paid you. I thought your company helped you get payment too, not just nagging the guy. Yeah, it's really annoying. And my company can't, all they can do is like call him and like the same thing I'm doing to get them to pay. So they can't really, it's like my company can only do so much as well. I think he will eventually pay me. I've heard the same story from this guy from other people that this one particular person that we've been dealing with is notorious for paying late. So that's been really fun. He does eventually pay though. In my history, it's kind of annoying when you have to remind someone to pay you something you're due, and it's been months already. He likes to play bite, doesn't he? Carlo says. Yes, he loves play biting. I'm chalking it up to him being young and full of energy. He's just staring at me right now. He really wants to play. Peace Life says, he's just so cute. How old? I guess very young. That's why he's so energetic. Yeah, he's in his puppy phase. He's 6-7 months. And I'm glad I got him in this puppy phase because I feel like if he goes into like adolescence, he's going to start tearing up everything in the house. So he's not going to be here for that. He's going to be with his adoptive family, and they get the joy of training him during that era of his life. Peace Life says, yes, you are perfect for season 2 of Ramyun. You're beautiful, genuine, smart, and very cultural. It would also give you great exposure for your job and stuff. So thank you. First off, thank you. That's very kind. Someone also, one of my friends was suggesting that it would be really funny if I was on the show. Because I guess I'm single. But that's like the prerequisite of the show. Or not, you know how people lie. But it would technically be good exposure. I don't know if I could take the show seriously, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. I mean, you never know. I don't know I've never actually watched the full show. I only watched the trailer, and my friends were telling me about the episodes because she was very invested in what was happening. So from what I understand, season 1 was a bit rushed, and there was like a lot of what is it? There's a lot of complications because of COVID restrictions that were still there at the time. So I think they had a hard time, obviously, getting certain people here. So I think they got a lot of people already living in Korea. A lot of the people cast in season 1. It was just because like availability and yeah, a lot of people couldn't fly in, or they had to quarantine for a long time, and so only certain people from other countries could make it in, things like that. I think just a lot to do with like COVID and all the regulations that were still in place when they were filming, but now we don't have those restrictions anymore. So I'm really curious actually how they will evolve season 2. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Have you guys watched the show Ramyun and Chill? I guess it's based off the expression Netflix and chill, and then they invite foreign girls and Korean guys, and they live in a house. But from what I understand, season 1 was just filmed over like a weekend, so I don't even know how they could have really gotten to know each other. I guess they had a lot of alcohol. Because they just met over a weekend, and they were like, let's decide if we're gonna date now. So yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, so maybe season 2 they would like make it longer or something. I don't know if I can be locked away for like a week though, because I have so much work to do. But yeah, is it like a Big Brother type show? Kind of. It's kind of like, I think it's like they wanted to kind of have it Love Island-esque, where they just like put people away in a house, and it was like the BTS house. So BTS did this show called In the Soup, or In the Forest, and they basically just vacation in this house. And so the DKTV guys, they rented out that same BTS house, which is really expensive now to rent because obviously BTS stayed there, and so it's like really popular. So they rented out that house, and they stuck a bunch of cameras and filmed it. I'm sure there was like crew on set and stuff like that, but kind of the same type. But it's on YouTube. The full thing is on YouTube, and I think there were like a good amount of episodes. It's just crazy to me that they filmed it just over the weekend and they were able to make so many episodes out of it. Yeah, and then it's like Love Island, where people go, or like the new, what is it, Singles Inferno that just came out, the new season. It's kind of like that concept where the people go in and they try to find a match, and then they'll like send in a new person every so often to like see if there's a new combination or something like that. So there was that, but I didn't actually watch it, so I don't know like the full intricacies. Just I have everything from the trailer that I watched and then everything my friend told me. So yeah, but I don't know. But my friend did suggest I should apply. But I feel like I don't know. I'm too socially awkward for that, maybe. Well, then he probably is not the good business to work with in the future. Do you like a department to report the business if they never pay? So at least freelancer has protection. So there's no protection in this industry, especially for foreigners. It's actually really difficult. But yeah, he'll probably pay eventually. He's been known to just be notoriously late, but it's not that he won't pay. And he's paid for, I've done actually a good amount of castings with him, and he's always paid. So I'm not too concerned. It's just more annoying, if anything. But yeah, it's terrible business manner. He's not my favorite or my agency's favorite to work with, for sure. Love Island, never watched that. Terrace House on Netflix is what I watched. So I never watched Terrace House, but I've heard everything about it. But then there was so much controversy by the time I was going to get around to watching it that I was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't watch this. So, but yeah, they're all kind of the same, honestly. All these kind of shows where they just lock a bunch of people in a house together and then hopefully something kicks off. I don't know. I was also debating. I was like, maybe if I go on these shows, I should like be the person to like stir the pot, make some drama. It's like, I don't know. I'm like, start a fight, throw some water, push a girl in the pool. That makes for good TV. I'm all about the entertainment value. But then when you're labeled as the villain, it's not really good. Because like, how like on those shows they ask you to be the villain, right? They like kind of give everyone their roles and like, okay, you're gonna try to hook up with this guy, and or like he's gonna hook up with you, but then he's gonna like this other girl and want to like go off with her, and then you're actually okay with it because you're not super into him, but then the staff tells you to like kick off and like make it a whole thing about how he betrayed you. That's the kind of TV I want to see. Peace Life says they filmed over 4 days. Right, 4 days. That's so short. One of the cast names Sonia. She's from Texas and pretty straight up and funny. I definitely look forward to your commentary. I think somewhere from Malaysia and Sweden and Hong Kong. Oh, okay. Yeah. Straightforward. Yeah, my commentary would be like, why'd you do that? Very judgmental commentary. I don't judge people, but I think my commentary would come off as very judgmental. I think everyone should live their best lives. But yeah, maybe I'll like take on a role. Definitely not the sweet and innocent victim. I don't think I'd be very good at that role. Probably maybe like, yeah, something about revenge. the third party, or I didn't watch all the Singles Inferno, but like it kept coming up in my TikTok. I don't know, my algorithm must be like, she's in Korea, she must really want to watch the show. So I watched all these scenes, especially with Nadine. And it was like the one scene where she's talking with the guy, but then this other girl comes in to like barge in on their conversation. I could be that girl. Start some drama. That's what YouTube is all about. Or I heard like some of the things that were done was like the members' idea to do them to like make it funnier or something. Yeah. Yeah, interesting how they film this next season, and then because I think they'll probably have a better idea of what to do. Obviously, season 1 is kind of like always an experiment. Like you want to like test it out and like see what works and doesn't work. And it was during it was like still during pretty strict regulations in Korea. So season 2 should be, I think, a more interesting take on it. Yeah. It's just a very interesting concept, I guess. We all love Nadine. That scene was hilarious. Nadine is #1 followers on Insta out of the show. The girl has the least, I think. The girl coming in. Yeah, because she's the villain of the story, and Nadine was the hero. So Nadine seems really nice. I don't know her. I don't know any of them at all, but just her watching the clips, she seemed very. I think like because I don't know, maybe because she's more Western, so I think I like understood her personality a bit more. But it's actually really funny that because Nadine she's Korean, but she's clearly grown up in America, and she speaks like a mix of Konglish, like Korean and English, because her Korean's not as good as her English, obviously. And I think from what I understood, a lot of foreigners took that as very endearing, and like they were like, she's trying her best, and she's also very smart because she goes to Harvard, like pre-med, and she's got like these great specs. But from what I understood here in Korea, people were actually kind of annoyed at her because she was speaking too much English, and that was like a big thing. So a lot of Korean people were kind of criticizing her for not speaking enough Korean, which I found really interesting because I understand it's a Korean show and she is Korean, but she was like clearly trying her best, and she speaks 2 languages, which is already impressive. It's just an interesting observation because the Western audience took it as very endearing that she was speaking a mix of both, and I think they also liked her a lot more because she could speak English. But the Korean audience kind of took it almost offensively. And they didn't like her as much as the other girls, like the Miss Korea, and the other girl, the really rich one. Because Miss America, she studied in America, so she speaks English as well, but she speaks Korean fluently because she grew up here. She was shy compared to other girls on the show. I would be shy too. That's crazy. These shows are insane. I can't imagine like just go into a house with the mission to find yourself a date. Like most people are not that thirsty. I mean, like you see that at the club, but like it's daylight hours over there, and you don't have access to social media and stuff, so you're forced to talk to each other. On Ramyeon, it says a big question came up that most of the girls went for the general Korean. What does that mean? Like the stereotypical Korean guy? Oh, most of the guys went for like the typical Korean like girl. Well, she's not Korean, but like I don't even know, like the stereotype of like what Korean guys like, the Asian girl. Yeah, there's a type. They like for the most part, there's a nuance, I guess, that they strive for. Just very. I'm not that for sure. Wow, do I apply for season 2, guys? I would make for good TV at least. I can't take any of that seriously though. Oh my god. I can you imagine my interview? And they're like, why do you want to be here? I'm like, for the vibes. I want to be here for vibes and to watch. Does anyone say that though? Does anyone go on those shows and it's like, I'm really looking for love. I'm here to find my soulmate. This is what I've been waiting for. Does anyone say that? That's like, imagine. I couldn't. What time is it? Is it late for you guys? I wanted to start it. I usually start these earlier. Like I usually set these lives for like 8, 9 a.m. But I thought maybe I was looking at the convergent times, and I felt like maybe me starting it at 10 a.m. was better for you guys back where you were. But I'm not sure. Let me know. Let me know which time, like whether I should have started earlier or started later. I also still can't figure out how to like go from the live I scheduled. It's like there's no button for me to like go live. It just won't let me do it. So I've had to keep doing separate new lives. It's very annoying. Oh, on Ramen, the Swedish girl brought up the race card that she's not being picked or people aren't interested because she doesn't look like the Korean type. She said she thought the guys would have an open mind. She looks a bit African Euro. Oh, interesting. Okay. So she wasn't picked at all because she's more African Euro. Interesting. I mean, could be. I feel like, I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the colored community here in Korea, but I know that there's a lot more, it's a bit more of a struggle for them in terms of their daily life and dating life. They have to really filter out a lot of people when they're dating because like a lot of people like fetishize, especially black people, like Korean, like because there wasn't as much exposure obviously historically, and then I think there's the Western stereotype of like girls being really easy, and I think they have it the hardest because obviously in Asia, ideal Western looks were white, and obviously Asian people are just more Asian, so we're like slightly more acceptable, versus everyone else has had to like work more on, I guess, educating people on like acceptance. I guess this is a weird thing to say. I mean, it's gonna get really political the more I speak upon this, but yeah, I will say the colored community, I guess, is they have a much harder time here in Korea than other communities. That's for sure. And oh, Toronto's the same as New York. Okay, 9:14. So it's like an okay time. It's an okay time, right, Carla? Not too late. It's good for Eastern. Okay, so this time is good for Eastern Standard Time, which I think is where most of you are right now. So, oh, okay. So more on this girl, the Swedish girl from the show. But the thing is, she didn't open up and talk to the guys well. One of the favorite girls of the viewer is actually African. I think we like her because she's fun, beautiful, and shown more personality. It could also be like, yeah, that's probably one thing. And I think also maybe she just didn't like anyone on the show. I feel like I would run into that problem because I don't know. It takes me a long time. It takes me a while to like warm up to people. So I'm never initially like, maybe she just didn't really like anyone. So that could be why she also didn't talk to anyone. Maybe they just weren't her cup of tea, you know? they did cast kind of last minute, felt like, so maybe they need more variety of characters. Is it me? Oh, thanks, Carlo. He said you could do a live at 3 a.m. and I'd still be here. Damn, I totally relate to you taking a long time to warm up to people. That's my problem too. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely my problem, and everyone has told me about it. Because I'm very wary of strangers, especially when you get out of school. Like we're not in university, or I'm not in university anymore. We're all adults, on top of that, I'm from New York, so I have this extra sense of like I need to protect myself from danger at all times. Um, and I think back when we were in university, even if you met a stranger, you knew that they would know someone you know. So you felt like at least you can kind of do a background check in a way. But now, especially in a foreign country, or especially just as an adult, you're meeting all these people who have no connection to you whatsoever. And that's really jarring, especially if you're on the apps like Tinder or Bumble or whatever. These people could just be straight up lying to your face about everything that they do or who they are. And especially in Korea, like people are notoriously known for cheating and having second accounts. So I just think like it takes me a long time to warm up to people because of just like there's always a certain line of distrust there. So yeah. And I'm just gonna assume everyone on this show is just in it for laughs. Like everyone who's going on this dating show, Ramyun and Chill, is just in it for laughs. Because if you're in it for love, like you're clearly lying. Peasley says, haha, it's not like Inferno, but does have some moments. She likes the last guy, the Swedish girl, the Swedish Black European girl, likes the last guy that came in late, but he didn't speak much English. He was into the more Korean standard girl there, Tiff, who spoke some Korean too. So that's a big thing, I think. That like language barrier, and also how do you communicate with someone who doesn't speak the same language as you? You know, I think that is also a barrier. So yeah, did all the foreign girls? Oh, I guess yeah. So she didn't really speak much Korean, but then the other girls spoke Korean. I think it's easier to obviously relate if you can actually understand each other as well. So I guess they all didn't. They spoke different levels of Korean. I wonder if the second season they'll do that same concept where they pick different girls who speak different levels of Korean, or they all should speak some level of Korean. I feel like that's the guys should speak some level of English. Yeah, I feel like that is a thing though. Like there should be some sort of middle ground. It'd be very difficult for a girl who spoke no Korean and a guy who spoke no English to be able to like have a connection, unless it's just for TV. Then anything goes. And they're like, our love overcomes language barriers, even though we've only met for 20 minutes. We're talking about Ramyun and Chill. Abril Ramirez. Happy Chinese New Year. Happy Lunar New Year. Yeah, we were talking about this YouTube show, about this YouTube dating show, Ramyun and Chill, that these YouTubers, these content creators in Korea made. And it's essentially a dating show where they put foreigners and Koreans in a house together and they have to find love in 4 days. They all communicated in English. Peace Life is giving me the full rundown of this show because I actually never watched it. I only watched the trailer. They all communicated in English. One guy speaks some English, but he tried Chan. The last guy had good physique and no English. The struggle is real. Okay. Good physique and no English. I gotta see what some of these guys look like. Should we just run through? Yeah, because they're doing a season 2. And my friend suggested that I apply for this show. But I don't know about that, guys. Oh, it was picked up by, they made an article about it on the Korean Herald. It was 5 episodes. The first international dating show. Or maybe do you think they'll do like the reverse version for second season? They'll do like all foreigner guys and then Korean girls. That's kind of gross. I don't know why that concept is like worse. I feel like it's more socially acceptable when it's all foreign girls and then Korean guys, but when it's like all foreign guys and Asian girls, it kind of looks a little bit like Yellow Fever. More. Sakura says, imagine that they would communicate in drawings, basically like Pictionary. That would be hilarious. They actually, yeah, maybe they should give them all like whiteboards and then they just use markers to communicate. That would be really funny. Peace Love says, this is the most I've chatted with you. So cool. Please apply. I think Anna, which is the YouTuber as well, she's one of the producers. I think they said they kept Korean Guy season 2. Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't. Okay, so they'll keep the same concept as season 1, where it's Korean guys and foreign girls. And Anna's the producer. I don't know who that is, but okay. Good to know. Good to know. Avril says, do you have any side projects coming up? Yeah. Yes and, well, what do you mean by side project? I mean, I got a lot going on. Side projects. So I mentioned this earlier, but you weren't here, so I'll say it again. So, I'm starting live show hosting with an app called Grip, GRIP. So if you guys are on this app or you want to download this app, they actually sell Korean brands, and they usually sell it at with a huge discount, or there's like a great deal on the products. So it's usually like Korean beauty brands, Korean fashion brands. So I'm doing a live with them on Thursday on this app called Grip, GRIP, with a brand called A Bloom. It's a Korean beauty brand. So I'm doing that on Thursday. I guess it's like a side project if you can think about it that way. And then I'm also going to start live show hosting with another app, but that has not been finalized yet. So I'll tell you guys more about that when that is completely finalized. But I'll probably start doing that maybe next month, like later next month. And then anything else I can tell you guys about? Well, you know, I'm still trying to maintain this channel. If you guys have any ideas on what I can do about this channel, like what you want to hear from this channel, anything like that, please let me know. Please, please let me know. That would be great. Because sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what to talk about anymore. And I want to make more vlogs, but it's been so cold and I've been so busy that I've not done anything vlog worthy. So I've been pulling vlogs out of the archives that I have not edited, which I finally got around to editing my Nami Island video this past week. So that was really nice to just finally get that done, because it's been sitting in my Final Cut program for ages, and I finally got around to doing that. Other side projects. I'm doing a billion things at once. I'm always like, what am I doing? Yeah, I guess that's my main thing though coming up. That's like the main new focus into my repertoire. A bit more traveling coming up, so that'll be fun to show you guys also. Yeah. And then there's other stuff I want to do, and I just don't know if I'll be able to get the energy or time to do those things, but if that comes to fruition, I will let you guys know. Carla says, I feel like the guys joining that show, Ramyeon and Chill, are fuckboys. I don't know if they're necessarily, because these shows are a bit different, right? Because they're like they're for entertainment. So I think if anything, they're just looking for like a little, and I from what I understand, a lot of the people cast on that show, especially for season 1, were all content creators. So I think they were just looking for more exposure, maybe. Unless they actually did stuff. Did they actually do stuff? Drama. Because, you know, we have so many international girls like Korean oppas. That is fair. That is fair. Yeah. I don't think I've ever called anyone oppa. That's so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if those words could really come out of my mouth. Because actually, the polite way to address someone, if you don't really know them that well, is to say like she at the end. So like, I don't know, like, what is a Korean name? I can't think of anything right now. Like, Mingguk Shi, Sunhwan Shi. So I would, unless you're really close, you would call them oppa. I can't do it. Congratulations, cool, like Amazon Live thing. Does that app ship internationally? Yeah, it's like an Amazon Live thing, I guess. And they ship internationally because actually their main audience is America. So we film everything in Korea and it's all Korean brands, but it's specifically targeted for a Western audience, so the whole live will be in English. Obviously, I don't think I could do a live in Korean, to be honest. It's not there yet. So yeah, it's and the other app too that I'll hopefully start working with is also targeting English-based audiences. That's really exciting, actually. I'm really excited to start that new thing. What else? I filmed a commercial not too long ago with Samsung, but I don't know if that's gonna ever see the light of day. You know, guys, I've filmed so many commercials and they've never seen the light of day, and it's so disappointing because I have like pictures and stuff from sets and things that I just can't share out legally because then they'll sue me for my first child. But I'm in like really cool outfits or like really beautiful sets, and yeah, I can't share any of that. So it's been great. Hopefully there'll be one coming out soon. It's been also I've had a bunch of commercials where I've been shortlisted. I'll be in like the final 2. And this is like the past month that this happened. I was like shortlisted for a beer commercial, and I was top 2 for a LG commercial. But one of the commercials just like completely fell through due to like internal disputes. I don't know the details. So they said it's been delayed, but probably canceled. And then the other one I didn't get. And then there's like a lot of instances like that where it's just kind of like, oh, so close. But 'tis the life of, I guess, this industry. And then other times you just film stuff in it, like they just don't. Like the one of the casting agencies I worked with, casting manager, she even told me like she goes on a lot of film sets and she rarely sees some of these commercials come to light. So it's crazy. They'll film all these commercials and then they just don't use them because XYZ reason, but they spend all this money on it. Never sees the light of day. It's crazy. Carlos says winter's hibernation time for me too. Usually a lot of PC gaming until spring weather. Yeah, winter is it's not my favorite. It's least favorite season. I don't like being cold. So yeah, not the vibe. Peace says, I don't know if you know, but I heard the way Korean dated was being set up with people in the circle. This was explained by Kelsey the Korean, but then you have to be quick to decide to be boyfriend and girlfriend. You talking about like soulgettings, like where people set you up on blind dates, because that's a thing. Hi Bruna from Brazil. Abril, do you get paid for them? The commercials? Yeah, I get paid for doing the commercials. It's just whether or not they ever see like the public or like become finalized released commercials is totally out of everyone's hands except the company. So you still get paid for doing them. You just might never, but it's kind of a shame because if it doesn't come out, it's not in your portfolio, so you can't show anyone what you did. So that's kind of the frustrating bit of it. Yeah, so Korean dating, you can get set up by your friends through blind dates, which are soulgettings, and then that's yeah, they do a lot of that here, a lot of like setting up people with, and it's not necessarily like setting it up with your friend either, because I feel like in America, like if you're setting up someone, you're setting them up with like a friend, but in Korea they kind of just set you up with like someone. they kind of know, or like semi know. It's like an acquaintance of an acquaintance at times. That can even happen a lot. So that's always interesting. And yeah, they decide really quick, because they don't like date to they don't date to get to know each other to be in a relationship. They date to be in a relationship and then get to know each other. So usually like you'll decide like probably like by this first date or the second date, it's like, okay, you're my boyfriend now, or like you're my girlfriend now. It's very weird. It's very this is a huge cultural difference in my opinion, about Western dating versus I guess Asian dating, Eastern dating, and is that they literally, like, the first date, the guy will be like, I love you, be my girlfriend. You're like, what's my name? You're like, do you know my name? Do you know my full name? But they don't really care about that here, because they like being in relationships, so they want to make sure, like, that's why I think there's so much cheating. I've talked about this a lot. I've talked about this before. But there's so my hypothesis is that there's so much cheating in Korea because they're so rushed to be in relationships that they just like start being in one right away, and then there's no like trust built there, so they're not even sure if they really 100% like you. They just like the initial you that they met on that first date. Versus in Western culture, you're more likely to like see someone for a little bit to like get the sense of whether or not you like them, and then because to commit to being in a relationship is like, okay, we're gonna commit now, it's gonna be like a thing now. It's just very different, and there's no right or wrong way because there's cheaters everywhere. But it's been really interesting for me to like see that kind of play out in Korea. Oh, my dog is sleeping. I was wondering why it was so not noisy. Okay. Guys, I think I have to go because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. And it's 11:30 now. I've just been drinking this tea. But it's been so wonderful to hang out with everyone and see everyone. I also do need to film a video for this week. Don't know what yet. I'm not, we're being honest. I haven't decided. Please let me know. Is there anything you guys want to see me film? Vlogs will probably be put on hold more. Well, I do have one vlog where I went back to Daejeon. But I have to figure out what that footage looks like. And then most other vlogs will have to wait a little bit. Although I am going on a trip next month, so I can vlog that for you guys. Very exciting. And yeah, it says, thank you for answering all my questions and fun chatting with you. Do you host meetups? I have not hosted a meetup. I don't know who would show up to my meetup. It's actually like, I think the general thing. But maybe if there's like a common event or anything, everyone can meet up. But if I hosted a meetup, I just don't know who would actually come. We should take a poll. If people want to come, if people like say they want to meet, then I would be down. But yeah, everyone have to be in Korea as well. So, can you film behind the scenes at work? That would be maybe an idea. I would have to really schedule that out though, because I'd have to like really pick a day. Also, sometimes it's like I'll film something like with like a content company, and I can't like, and there's a lot of stuff I can't film because of legal reasons, and it's not my, if I'm filming something for a company, for example, that's not my, I technically don't have the rights to that, so I'm not allowed to film that kind of stuff. Or it would just be me filming in my house. So I'd have to think about that. But I mean, possibly there could be something. Do you have a suggestion for good spa or reliable plastic surgery place? There's a couple of those. I know if you do anything through like Soul Guide Medical, they're really reliable because all my friends work there. I have like a lot of friends who work there, and yeah, they're reliable. They're a little bit more expensive versus just going to a place directly. I know there's a couple clinics like Muse, I think Muse in Gangnam. And then spa, there's the famous Dragon Hill Spa, and that's the famous one. That's a jjimjilbang. That's like a sauna. And yeah, I think a couple of those. If you need anything specific, like a specific procedure and stuff, let me know in the comments, and I will try to find some. Anyways, yeah, guys, I'm gonna go eat. Here's my dog saying goodbye. This is the last you'll see of him. Well, actually, he'll be on my stories and stuff, but he's going to Singapore this month. So, he's going to Singapore the start of next month. So I only have him till this month. But yeah, that's it, guys. Goodbye. Happy Lunar New Year. I'm gonna go eat now because I'm hungry. Say goodbye, Gangnam. Hi. Say goodbye. No, not me. Goodbye. Goodbye. This way. Okay. Not listening. Not listening.